Hi, you guys. I am tired. I am tired of everything. I am tired of everyone. I am over it. Like, you don't understand. I am over it. This Jeffree Star video just cemented my overness of it all. I cannot. Jeffree Star's new video talking about the whole drama. Number one, let's just think about the fact that he had to make an entire video about this because he inserted himself in this. He makes it seem like he was doing us a favor by posting this video. You put yourself in this. And everything he said in the video just made me roll my eyes. First of all, this is why I don't frequent the Jeffree Star channel. It's because it's just a bunch of foolishness up there. It's a bunch of contrived drama. It's a bunch it makes no sense. One thing I do want to point out, Jeffree Star loves to say he's the most controversial YouTuber. That is not the right word. He is the most problematic beauty YouTuber. Controversial and problematic can exist as two totally different things. Being problematic does not make you controversial. Being controversial does not make you problematic. They can exist on two separate things. Can they exist together? Yes. But Jeffree Star, you are someone who just falls under problematic. You are not controversial. Things you do don't cause controversy because they're shaking the table. They cause controversy because they're problematic. You are a problematic person, and you're misconstruing that with being controversial, because controversial can have a positive term. You can be controversial and positive. You do not exist as controversial and positive. He loves to hang on this fact that he's brutally honest. No, you're just brutal. You're just cruel. You're just brutal. That's it. That is it. Don't sit here and try to say, I'm just brutally honest. No, you're just brutal. You're mean. You are mean-spirited. And this whole thing sums that up. First of all, can we all laugh together at the fact that he made it seem like this happened a month ago, a year ago? He was like, I'm just not the same Jeffree. You are. If this situation took you back to a place you didn't want to be, you were still in that place. It's just the fact that you expose yourself. How many times have I said Jeffree Star exposes who he really is in these types of moments? Anytime something goes down with that, it doesn't even have to involve him, but at times it does involve him. He proves exactly who he is. He has you guys fooled. He has you guys manipulated, thinking. He rarely jumps into this bag that he's mean, he's evil. He's grown. He's past this. I want all you Jeffree Star fans to see he has not moved past anything. It's so easy for him to jump into this mean-spirited evil person. The mask comes off eventually, and it comes off with him every month. It's so funny. He's acting like I've been in a good place, but I've seen you drag people endless times, and we're just at the beginning of the year. So what are you saying? You're in a new place. So let's remove that narrative. The whole video was just mess. Like, it made no sense. My biggest issue is I hate when people say things and they don't stick by them. Speak before you say something. It's one thing to just be like, you know what, y'all wasn't ready for the tea, so I'ma take it back, but I said what I said and I meant what I said. It's another thing to say what you said, take it back because the fire got hot. The seat was boiling a little bit. It's one that I can't stand that, because it just shows how cowardly you are, and it shows how you're willing to start mess as long as the mess goes in your favor. If you're so brutally honest, you keep it how it is. It doesn't matter what people think. It does not matter what people think, how people take it. You said what you said, and you can say you deleted it all because you just, y'all wasn't ready and it was causing too much drama. But when you say, oh, I'm better than that, I've grown out of that, I shouldn't have done it, stop. You sat here yesterday. That's what's the odd part. You posted the video, and yesterday you were talking about exposing James Charles. The day before you was talking bad on his brother. Like, the day before that you were talking about him in Snapchat rants. Like, you are not that different. The thing is, what did I tell you guys? Everyone is contrived. Everyone is manipulative. These people are coming on this platform and just manipulating us, making us seem crazy, making us seem foolish. And it's just like, this proves it. He was not expecting James Charles to still be loved. Jeffree Star is a front runner. He is someone who doesn't know how to handle being in the back. He always has to be in the front of whatever drama. And at this point, I'm 100% on the side that he told Tati to do this. He 100% told Tati to do it. And it went right until it went wrong, until James Charles put out his video and he dragged you and people were coming at your neck. That's when it went wrong. You weren't expecting, because here's the thing. Jeffree Star knows if he would have went on his video yesterday and talked about James Charles and would have put receipt, which y'all tell me, do y'all think he actually has receipts? I don't even think he has receipts. He just wanted, he probably went to go film and realized these receipts ain't holding no weight. So let me just do the complete opposite. Jeffree Star was protecting himself when he didn't put out some salacious video of James Charles, then protecting him. Because the thing is, when you have so many skeletons in your closet, Jeffree Star is the perfect person to go to war with, because Jeffree Star deleted, you guys, over 1,000 tweets. Imagine having 1,000 problematic tweets. Imagine. I tweet all the time. I think I have almost over 20K tweets. There are not 1,000 problematic tweets, and I was on Stan Twitter. I've said some things. 1,000 of them are not problematic, because when you are a good person or just a decent person, there's not 1,000 problematic things you could have had to say. But he had to delete over 1,000 tweets because you have skeletons in your closet. And I just think it's funny that he would even assume he could make an expose video about James Charles, as if any and everything we have accused James Charles of, Jeffree Star has done the exact same thing. That's what is mind-boggling in this entire situation. That's why it's tiring, because people are saying things they don't mean. People are mad at people for doing things they have done. And it's just no one is existing in actual reality. We're living in a world where Jeffree Star actually in his head thought that he could go on his platform and even come for James. So you're not it. Tati doesn't have a laundry list of problematic things she has done to people. So her going on her channel and coming for James Charles makes sense, because she, as far as we know, is a kind-hearted woman for the most part. You are not that. There is nothing Jeffree Star could have told me about James Charles that I couldn't turn on him and say he's done the same thing. And James Charles proved that in his video. And that's what Jeffree Star realized. Jeffree Star realized that yes, you're playing chess, but so is James Charles. James Charles has built, in my opinion, this is my humble opinion, I think he's built a bigger empire than Jeffree Star at this point. James Charles, in my opinion, has more to lose than Jeffree Star does. So Jeffree Star is not going to sit here and pull out the checkers board, because he knows how to play chess, because he has to play chess. And Jeffree Star, you are the easiest person to play chess against, because the things you have done to people is so well documented. You were such a hateful, miserable person for so long in the public eye. It's well documented. So you thinking at one point someone must have come to you and told you this ain't the way to go. Thinking you're going to go up against James Charles with receipts is not the way to go. It's really not, because at the end of the day, you're problematic and so is James Charles. Y'all are both terrible people. So going at each other would be nothing. It would be two people throwing the worst things they've done at each other back and forth, and it's useless. It's pointless. But my issue is to sit there on your channel and to assume or try to manipulate your audience, who is gonna fall for it, that you're somehow taking the high road. I promise you, if Jeffree Star could have saw a way that this ended well for him, he would not. And here's the thing, not paying attention to foolishness is the best way to stay out of foolishness. And Jeffree Star knows that. He knows that if he throws fuel on the fire, he'll lose. He will lose. Because he has no ground to stand on. He has his fans that will defend him, but he has no ground. James Charles putting out his video shows he's ready to fight. Period. Y'all came for everything James Charles had. He's a narcissist. He's going to fight. What did I say in one of my videos? James Charles is not going to die. Tati and Jeffree Star expected him to just lay down and die. And that is not what happened. It's not what happened. He didn't lay down and die. He didn't sit here and just let y'all have your way. He came back with fire. Were they lies? Who knows? But he came back, and you and Tati were not expecting that. Once the good graces were on your side, you were not expecting for him to come back, because Jeffree Star has this air about him that he feels like he is entitled. Once again, we're dealing with a bunch of people who feel entitled. He never even thought that James Charles would come back at him. He really thought James Charles would just issue an apology and just be like, whatever. But now that he came back with fire, you know you can't beat that fire. You know that if you pull receipts on James Charles, he'll pull more on you, because there is more on you. It is a game that Jeffree Star cannot win. And there are few games that Jeffree Star can't win, but it just so happened he's going up against James Charles. These two are so problematic, and you won't win. You won't win. So to me, he realized me putting out a receipt video won't end well for me. It won't end well for me. But my issue is, then don't do it. Don't do it. You're so calculated, but you don't even realize how you were setting yourself up. I can't stand the fact that he sat there. You said all these things about James Charles, all these things, and you just step away from it. And what is so bothersome is that this man is old, and not old in the sense that he's actually old. He's older than James Charles. He's older than James Charles's brother. He's older than most of the people who watch his content. He's older than me. So how can we see it? How can I see the issue in getting on your channel or your Twitter page and running at the mouth about somebody and not realizing the consequences? If I had a laundry list of problematic things, I said, I'm not going to come for nobody. I'm not going to come for somebody and think they're not going to come back for me. But he does that. It's this air of, he does not see the issue in any of the things he has done. His problematic things, for some reason, y'all cleared his whole slate, and he walks around here like Mother Teresa. He really doesn't think he's done anything wrong. He sat there and came for James Charles for being a predator, for seeking out straight men, which he is, when you have a whole video talking about, like I said, we are living in this alternate reality where people with the biggest glass houses are throwing stones, and we're allowing it. We're not throwing stones back, but James threw a stone back, and he realized, wait a minute, someone wants to fight against me. Because when we really think about it, who of power really fights against Jeffree Star? No one with a fan base as big as James Charles fights against Jeffree Star, period. Everyone just bow down to King Jeffree, and we just let it go. We just let it all go. It's not that deep. But he realized, wait a minute, this is a battle that I might not win. And Jeffree Star at this point cannot afford to lose any battles. Jeffree Star is on his third, second chance. I don't know if he will recover from this one, especially against James Charles. And he didn't want the smoke. So to sit here and be like, I have all these receipts, don't come to me about all the receipts you might have if you're not pulling them. If you're not pulling the receipts, get out the line. Get out of the line. Next customer up. I don't want to hear about the receipts you might have, about the receipts you do have, or how you could end someone, about what somebody. Pull the receipts or move along. I don't want to hear it. It's foolishness. It's folly. I don't need to hear it. And that is the issue with everything in that video. It was like, he was like, I'm taking the high road, but just know I could take the low road. Shut up. Shut up. If you could take the low road, Jeffree, you would have took the low road. But what he was able to do was to get on his camera and make it seem like he was doing other people a favor. Everyone else should just be like, oh my gosh, Jeffree, he just wanted to end Jeffree wanted to end the drama before it came knocking at his door. When he saw, and he was like, oh, and then that's another thing. I had no clue he attacked James Charles' brother. You guys, this man is grown. Like, I'm grown. He's grown. And you're attacking little kids? Like, are you what? What would James Charles' brother have anything to do with this shit? And then it bothered me. He's like, I was just in a place that I didn't want to be at. Anytime you can go back to this place just like that, you wasn't too far going from it. Stop with the lies. It's cowardly. That whole video is so cowardly. Like, it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm not that person, but I am that person. Oh my gosh, I have receipts, but I'm not going to pull the receipts. I can end James Charles, but I'm not going to end James Charles. Let's just be friends. He realized he was playing chess with someone who also knew how to play chess. Someone who has a whole team behind them. Someone who has all this, the same stuff as Jeffree Star, the same stuff to lose, the same stuff to gain. And he realized he didn't want the smoke. And it comes to a bigger picture that Jeffree Star bullies and belittles the people he can. He can't belittle, he can't bully James Charles. And if he could, he would have. And y'all can be mad in the comments, but it is my truth. I know that if Jeffree Star knew, he would have ended up on the right side of the public opinion. If he would have dragged James Charles, he would have chose to drag James Charles, and that is just the point blank and the period. He would have dragged him if it would have ended well for him. Period. But he didn't know. He didn't know. It's not, and who knows? Him dragging James Charles could have ended well. It's the fact that James Charles would have retaliated. And Jeffree Star knows there's so many skeletons in his closet. He didn't know what James Charles will retaliate with, because James Charles at this point is at all or nothing. Like if Jeffree Star would have came back, James Charles would have started losing subscribers again. James Charles is going for broke, okay? He is taking it all. And Jeffree Star didn't want to have to deal with that, because when you have so many skeletons in your closet, when you're so problematic, you don't want it. So for him to conveniently end the drama, you now want to end the drama when you inserted yourself in the drama. What did I say? He inserted himself in the drama because he knew this was the time for him now to become top dog. James Charles getting out of the way put Jeffree Star at top dog, and he wanted that. He realized this was his moment to get everything he ever wanted. I know he was pissed that James Charles was at the Met Gala. I genuinely think Jeffree Star is jealous of James Charles, especially because he's getting it at such a young age. But here's the thing. So you inserted yourself in that. That's why I say he probably did Tati and him probably did that together to attack James Charles. And then James Charles came back with his heat. I think it was all lies. Mind you, I'm not taking James Charles back for this. James Charles is still trash, but I am going in on Jeffree Star because that's who posted the video. And so you realize, wait a minute, this is a battle we might lose. And is it worth losing? No. So what you decided, you and your team, is I'm going to take the high road. This imaginative, this fairy tale high road that you're taking. Taking the high road is not telling someone, I could pull out receipts, I could do this, but that's not the high road. It's not the high road. To me, it just seems like your receipts are a little expired. You know, it's a little smeared. We can't really see what it says. The ink is fading. And you didn't want to be put in the place where you get dragged, because James Charles is going to come back at you, and you didn't want it. You didn't want any of it. How disgusting. How disgusting. I'm sorry, you guys. That is y'all's guy. Y'all can have him. But to me, it was just cowardly. Say what you mean and mean what you say. You want to drag him on Twitter? Keep it up. Keep it up. Period. I have a dentist appointment, you guys. So I'll see you in my next one.